Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Steve Westman, live Audiophile Roundtable. I'm with Andrew Milton, Parlogram's Beatles guru. Let's bring him right in. If I can, Andrew Milton. Hello.
Hi, Steve. Hi, everyone.
Welcome back. It's been a few months.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we're talking Beatles Anthology 2025. There's a lot of news around it. Now, there's a lot of negative news around it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to go with the negative news? I mean, I like to go positive first, but let's spin it the other way. Let's get rid of the negative news first and then go to the positive as well. What's making this Anthology 2025 a little bit negative with people? What do you think it is? Where is it at?
I just think that a lot of people who already have it don't really want to buy it again for, no extra content. I mean, it's been, I admit to having a bit of anthology fatigue. It's only been 10 days since the announcement, and I've seen so many videos and read so many comments that have been negative. It's been bringing me down quite a bit, actually. So I want to try and sort of like not be so negative because it's all been said already, I think.
I look at it this way. Now, I've been talking about this for a long time on my show, on different shows, especially the Beatles. I really, truly believe, I mean, remember, this is 30 years ago when this first came out in 1995, November. This is a new audience. They're looking for a new demographic here. This is not necessarily for people that had it like ourselves, had this CD for 30 years and just dusted it off, which literally I did. I dusted this thing off and listened to it again. I hadn't for a long time. It's for the new generation, and I feel listening to it on Spotify, they used Peter Jackson's MAL software. I think it's for the AirPod generation, more or less, trying to really get the younger folks involved with the Beatles. Would that's what I'm hearing on these new anthology remasters.
Yeah, that's what I said in my video, basically, that it is a relaunch of the Beatles, and the people who haven't seen it or have yet to experience it aren't commenting on it yet. The people that are commenting on it are the people who've seen it, bought it, and whatever. So we're not hearing from the new people yet. So that's who it's aimed at. And as I said in my video, which has just come out, that their strategy is now, or certainly on this event, this product, is to get a new generation involved, which makes sense from a business and legacy point of view.
Especially too with the remixes using Peter Jackson's MAL software. Giles Martin would have remastered them. It really opens it up. I mean, some of the the tracks before, especially on Anthology 1, if you recall, the big one was Free as a Bird. I mean, that was a big song back in this day, and that's why we were all excited. And that's why this CD sold like 10 or 15 million copies back in its day. And Pete Best actually made money for the first time because of this CD that I'm holding up right now, because he was, of course, on it. Like significant royalties. He finally actually made a decent cut from it. So Free as a Bird, I remember that was big news back then. It came out. What are your thoughts on it now with the MAL software?
Yeah, I mean, I, like everybody else, I'm used to the original version with the ghostly sort of vocal, and that's fine. I mean, that's okay. But I can see maybe to a new audience, it sounds a bit weird. And as you've got the technology to improve it, why not do it? And it does, to my ears, sound technically much better, which I think was the aim of the game, really.
Well, really, I mean, the MAL software, I think most folks probably know about it, but we can sort of touch upon it. It's called Machine Assisted Learning. So it's a proprietary demixing software developed by Peter Jackson's Wingnut Films team, right? So they started doing that back, what was it, during the Get Back documentary in 2021. And it was originally designed to clean up like film dialogue, separating like all the, John, Paul, and George and Ringo's voices from the guitars, the amps, etc. And it really expanded to isolating the instruments, the vocals, and even overlapping sounds from like mono or 2-track sources. So that's what's been used. Anytime you hear the Beatles remixes now, it's the MAL software that's being used. And of course, going forward, they're using it on the Anthology. So again, I think it really, you're mentioning John's voice, doesn't sound like it's in a bathroom any longer. Doesn't sound all distorted. I think they've captured it the way it probably should have sounded. And of course, if folks don't realize, I mean, this is a mono cassette that he would have recorded this stuff on. So I mean, this software And it's not AI. This is the thing that people don't understand. This mall software isn't necessarily AI. I know Paul McCartney came and goes, "Yeah, man, it's AI. We're using AI." I mean, ML is a machine learning, which is like a subset of AI. It doesn't invent or synthesize sounds. Like there's no fake Lennon vocals. It just identifies and separates existing recorded sounds. Is pretty much what it does.
Yeah, it's a tool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
not
it is.
it's not fake sounds, not fake voices coming out of this thing.
It's an AI tool, which everybody uses in content create. I use it in my videos to sort of split the vocals from the music quite a lot, and it's coming in to everything. But going back to what we're talking about, free as a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's improved no end. Yeah, you were talking about something else and I forgot what I was going to say now. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just saying with Free as a Bird. I mean, obviously it was like John's vocals sounded really like they were in the toilet. So I mean, that's come a long ways going back to the mall software as well. But I think
and they've applied the MAL software to some of the other lo-fi sounding tracks on the CD, especially the That'll Be the Day in Spite of All the Danger, some of the early live tracks,
right,
which were always, historically important, but sort of sounded pretty poor. And they've sort of made them widened the picture, made them sound a bit stereo-like, and put an expander on them, and to sort of make them sound a bit more listenable, especially on headphones, because the thin, narrow mono sound isn't for the masses, if you like.
And that's the thing. Let's just full stop there. This is the AirPod headphone generation, especially if you're looking for a new demographic. They're going to most likely, if they find out about the Beatles, are going to stream it on Apple or Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how most young people listen to music these days. They stream it.
Not us old guys who like the tangible CDs that were blowing dust off from 30 years ago. And, hey, man, I listened to this once and I put it away. I mean, I probably listened to this once or twice and I forgot about it for 30 years.
I think a lot of people haven't listened to it for a long time. But yeah, that's not the target market for this. The target market is the younger people who listen to it on AirPods or whatever and are streaming it. They can stream, like the video I made a few weeks ago interviewing the young people, 18-year-olds. They said there's no need to buy anything anymore. You can stream it for nothing, and that's what people do. The older guard, us and whatever, like physical media, so it doesn't seem like such good value. But for people who stream it, it's like, wow, we're getting all this for nothing. You can listen to it now on Spotify and Apple Music, all the remastered tracks for nothing. Now,
right.
Well, I mean, if you have to subscribe to
$10 a month or whatever it'd be.
Yeah, but you can listen to it now, and unless you really, really want a physical copy on your shelf. I've got physical copies, and I'm running out of room, to be honest, for another box set and more CDs. And
I think most of us that collect are into this. I mean, records and whatnot. It comes down to space, and we've touched upon that on the show in the past as well. I mean, you got to be selective. And going back to this, I've got the CDs here. Of course, I think one of the controversies too. I mean, this is, if you recall, and everyone will know, it was 3 CDs, anthologies 1, 2, and 3. Now, the new one coming out in November 21st, I think it is, on my birthday. Happy birthday! Has the anthology 4. So people are like all up in arms, going, "Well, why don't they just release that separately?" Now, let's talk about anthology 4. What will fans expect there?
Well, as I said in the video, it's slim pickings really for real fans who are into it deep like me. There's I think 13 new items for this, and a couple of them interesting. A lot of them are either instrumentals or backing tracks. There's not a great deal of substance there. Certainly not what the real fans wanted. Well, not real fans, the older fans wanted. Carnival of Light and Revolution 20, all this sort of stuff is not there. Maybe that's coming later on, I don't know. So I can see why people are disappointed about it. I'm a bit disappointed too. There's not more, but how much more is there? I don't know.
I think the disappointment is, of course, that you have to re-buy the whole box. It's not coming out separately. I think I read a lot of comments there. And then the big one is, well, guys, I mean, okay, that was the 30th anniversary. What about Rubber Soul?
Mhm.
What about that? I mean, remix that for the anniversary box. Where's that?
Well, firstly, at the moment, Anthology 4 isn't coming out separately. Maybe they will have a change of heart and put it
That's
out
right.
separately if we sort of fight them.
Well, and I think that's part of the issue, right? They don't, a lot of people are like, why can't I just buy it separately? Why do I have to rebuy the whole box set again and spend more money? Lot want the Rubber Soul box. They want that remixed. They want to hear that again.
Well, I think there's so much noise going on in the community. They can't fail to ignore what people are talking about. But they're at a sort of like a junction. This new CEO, Tom Green, is coming in, and hopefully, or like a lot of CEOs or managers or whatever, they come in, change things around, change teams, bring their own people in. And Apple is a big sort of hierarchy of focus groups, teams, and committees and stuff, and it has to go through all these things to get out. Maybe he'll say, right, I'm bringing my own people in from my own sort of past or whatever, and we're going to do things differently. We don't know. He starts this month, so maybe things will change. This might be the
Hopefully
last
when he comes in, Andrew, he looks at the Beatles mono box that was a grand slam success and says, "Okay, guys, call Optimal up. Let's press another 50,000. Let's make some more money so I can get my bonus." I mean, really.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were saying they would have bought it, and how many really more could they sell? You don't know. It's difficult to, you can't sort of judge reality by reading the comments on a YouTube video.
Yeah.
It's down to like hard orders. How many would actually order it if push came to shove? So I don't know about that. We said on the last live stream, didn't we? We were sure more were coming, and there isn't. So
well, we were right on something in the last live stream. We said Anthology was coming out around November, the same time as the mono box set last year. So that was correct there. We knew that. I'm not going to run out and buy this just because, of course, being from Canada, the exchange rate, duties, who knows, the additional tariffs have hit and increased prices. So might hold back a little bit on that one just because, of course, I had it. And looking back, hey, I've only listened to it once or twice in 30 years. I enjoyed it, but I can spend my money elsewhere as well.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, I'll buy it. I have to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I'll review it and do whatever. But for somebody who's on the fence, somebody who's already got it, I can see it being a tough choice. It's a lot of money, and you might as well just spend your money on something else.
So are you going to buy the LP box when it comes out, or both the CD and the LP?
No, I usually buy just the LP.
Okay.
I don't buy the CDs.
So back in 1995, the LPs were mastered by a fellow on the Abbey Road team named Steve Rook. So this time around, just so everyone knows, on the LPs on Anthology, they're not half-speed mastered. Miles Scholl was not part of this project. He was busy doing other things. So they tapped Alex Wharton. Here's Alex right here. There he is, who mastered these songs, this anthology, to the LP.
Yeah, he did he did the extras on the Revolver set, I think, as well, and it sounded really good. So I think it's in good hands as far as the mastering is.
So I mean, this whole there's all that debate about the half-speed mastering. These are not half-speed mastered. Miles Scholl was not part of it. It was Alex Wharton, so who's done. I think he did some Paul McCartney stuff as well on top of the Beatles.
Alex is great. He does great work. Yeah.
So there you go. I'm not sure if people knew that, but I don't know if that's breaking news, but something that I found.
I haven't heard it anywhere else. So
through my little birdie sources,
we broke it.
We broke it today. Maybe we'll break the internet because of that. But so I think going back to it, I think what we need to understand about this, it's not necessarily the anthology it's released on CD, streaming, LP. It's not about that. What is this about, really?
It's about people feeling shortchanged. I think they're not getting what they want or wanted. I mean, they've been buying Beatles product for God knows how many years, and they just want something fresh and exciting and new, and that's it. And this isn't a release for them. I mean, last year we had the Capitol monos, which a lot of people were asking for, and I think that was
and they turned out great.
They turned out okay, and I think sort of Apple did okay. So they I did a video a long time ago, and that's what a lot of people were talking about. We want the Capitol box sets, and we got them up to a point, and people were saying, okay, now we want Rubber Soul yesterday and today, and da da da. So I think you know, they were good, but here people were expecting more, and of course, when you expect more, everything's a disappointment.
Also, too, it's really not about maybe the physical media this time around. I think, and I know you're going to agree with me, it's about the actual documentaries being really re-released on Disney Plus. What, 3-4 days after the release of the actual tangible albums again on November
Yeah,
26th on Disney Plus, we get to watch Anthology all remastered using the Mall software again with Peter Jackson's touch on it. I think that's what we're missing on this one more, is that's what the focus really is with Apple.
yeah, that's the TV. The re-release of the TV show is the main event. You know, the CDs and the audio release is the sideshow, basically. But the main event is the anthology, which I'm really looking forward to, seeing how good it looks now, and plus the extra episode, of course. But I think that's going to be the thing that most people outside the fan base is going to be interested in. It's going to be the TV show, and of course, being around Thanksgiving, I think, the 26th of November, it's good, and it's become an annual event, and it's something which I really look forward to.
Well, the Beatles like to do things around the last week of November. It always seems, right, with a lot of stuff. So I mean, maybe we can expect that date to be a big date. November 21st, 22nd, 23rd, around there, to always release stuff.
It seems to be the time they like to do it now. Yeah.
But I think where they're making their money, I think someone did mention that in the comments. I mean, the Disney Plus deal with Apple Records must be pretty lucrative. I mean, that's where the gravy is. I mean, let's just face it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people don't like Disney and the way they operate, and and I don't know too much about it, but I've heard some things. The way they treat the artists, new artists, is they're a big corporation and they're a money making machine. So Disney and Apple seem to be partnered pretty strongly now. But I hope that Apple doesn't turn into Disney and sort of become similar.
Problem is, you follow the money.
Yeah.
But you said the new CEO of Apple comes in. Maybe he's looking at everything. You said change it up a little bit. It seems to be a good relationship with Disney, and I believe that will continue. Right? So
I think it's a great thing. I think Beatles should have their own channel somewhere. Like on your smart TV, you've got things that should be a Beatles channel. They could show everything.
So you subscribe to the Beatles channel,
Yeah.
for $10 a month or $12 a month, and you're getting all the music streamed, all the remixes, all the original, everything. Like, really, really make it something special.
The films, the
Imagine.
specials could always be on a separate streaming Beatles channel, but they're tied in with Disney now, so I'm not sure how they could do that now. But
Well, that's something I think probably long term, in 10, 20 years. Again, demographic, we'll see where this all goes, right?
It'll all go online.
It's definitely something. If they came up with a full-on Beatles streaming channel with all the original music plus the remixes, so you had a choice, the mono sets, all that to stream on the channel, plus all the original movies and Shea Stadium, all that stuff. Man, yeah, I'm down for that. $10 a month, baby, for sure.
Yeah, and an easy way to watch the Beatles. You sit in your chair and you click your remote, and it's all there. You don't even have to get up out of your chair.
I don't have to dust off my old Anthology.
No,
30
absolutely not.
years.
It's send it to the charity shop. Send it to the needy. Just sit there and just consume it with a remote or your phone or something, and just watch it. That's the way I see it going. Physical media will still be there for people who want it. I don't know whether the new anthology will be out on Blu-ray. They don't seem to like to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk sort of legacy of the anthology as well. I mean, do you feel all the goals were achieved when it comes to this anthology? I mean, it was a huge project, a huge undertaking back in its day. I remember when it was first announced, I was pretty stoked about it years back. And I mean, when it first came out, I think ABC, which is of course linked to Disney, came out with it on 3 different days, and I was pretty excited about it. It was a big event, but here's the thing, right? And talks about demographic and generation. The number 1 TV show still that week still was Friends back then. Friends had like a 27 million share that day, where the Beatles Anthology, the first one got like 22 million. So again, demographic, it still didn't beat out Friends. Came in number 2. was reading
Well,
about
that's
that.
all
It's
we
like,
had in those days.
wow.
We had audience figures. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have social media. We didn't have all the comments on how people felt about it back then, you know?
Well, you would think now with the information and with the AI, you could really get a better sense, especially looking at all these comments and all the different shows. You could really get a sense of where people are at and how many are actually watching this stuff. I mean, I really, it would be 30 years ago, those Nielsen ratings. I mean, how accurate was that? I mean, I don't know. I
Well,
always
people
feel that
watch these
was,
days on different devices and different things.
I
I
feel
think
that was
that's
all
maybe more
exaggerated,
difficult to track. I don't know.
right? It was all exaggerated. I really do think it was just like, you know, how many records were actually sold and pressed. I mean, who really knows the true number? I mean,
I'm
well, we
sure
don't know.
the fact checkers weren't around then. Yeah.
Norman was mentioning this, and I was going to bring this up as well, and this is interesting too. I just watched. Did you see the Sphere on in Las Vegas? They just released the Wizard of Oz, the original. They
No.
did it all.
Yeah.
I think at some point we could see the Beatles doing an AI theatrical show, like the Sphere in Vegas type of thing.
Yeah,
It's like
I
four
think
dimensional.
a show like ABBA's thing in London is entirely possible. They have the technology, they have the money. I'm surprised they haven't done it already, or they're probably working on it. But
I
I could see that coming.
I'm envisioning Shea Stadium, Las Vegas Sphere, right? And then they have the sound and like sort of that whole dimension of that. So you're actually feeling like you're there in the stadium,
Yeah, there's a big
like with
hole
the
left by.
crowd. They'll have to really turn up the heat because it wasn't really hot that day. So yeah, have people passing out and policemen grabbing, but that'd be cool.
There's a big hole left by the departure of Love. I mean, unfortunately, I never got to see that in Las Vegas, but
Yeah.
that was a really popular show, and I think there is a gap in the market for a live Beatles show, and an AI sort of hologram thing, however distasteful it might be to some people. I'll never go and watch that. My mother would probably go and watch it, or somebody who like that would go and watch it. People would go and watch it.
Well, Paul
Tourists.
McCartney in some of his shows or some of his concerts is already using John in the background, right? Some of the songs. I mean, that's really cool to see John singing and with Paul at Paul's concert to this day. I think that's a
Right.
really cool
Technology's
tribute,
there, and it would be
right?
a massive earner. It'd just be a repeat. It would just earn and earn and earn, like the ABBA thing is doing now. It's
Right.
phenomenal business. It's still full nearly every night, and you imagine the Beatles for that.
Yeah. So like a Las Vegas sphere thing, that would be really cool. Like I said, like at the Shea Stadium or Hard Day's Night again, just all
They could do
redone.
the possibilities are endless. They
Oh,
could change the sets. They could change the
yeah,
avatars. They could change,
yeah.
do the whole story. AI and on stage.
So maybe this is just the beginning, right? With this whole mall software, they're able to do all this stuff.
Well, maybe the
Getting
new
through
CEO's
Anthology.
background is in gaming, so I'm sure he's got some ideas.
I mean, the money that could be made if you're looking at just generational wealth. I know all the Beatles and their children in the States have that, but I'm talking generation through generation. This could go on past our lifetime, Andrew, if they do it properly.
Sure, and they need to get people back out into live events and Las Vegas and things. Get people going to things after COVID. Give people the confidence to go out and participate in these things again. And from Apple's point of view, it's a no-brainer. From a fan's point of view, if it's good, if it's technically good, like the Love Show was, a lot of people enjoyed it. I mean, everybody who's left a comment on the video I did on it, and said how great it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, cash grab and it's like rubbish and I can see the wires and stuff. Everybody loved it because it celebrated the Beatles, and that's what it's all about.
Well, you're going to get that, right? Oh, this is a cash grab with Disney and the new anthologies. But I think, too, getting back to it, listening to it, the remixes, the mall software, it's really targeted towards a newer generation as well. This is what they're trying. This is their goal. I truly feel that way. Because if they don't, in 5 or 10 years, when the baby boomers are less of them, what's going to happen to the Beatles? So they really need to start now. You're going to see more Beatles merch. You're going to see more. I think you're going to see more Beatles songs and advertisements. It's going to be more and more as we move forward here.
They need to get it out there. I mean, I was talking to these 18-year-olds in this video a few weeks ago, and I asked them, could they name any of the Beatles? And a few knew John Lennon. Nobody mentioned George Harrison. One person remembered Ringo. They need to sort of stop being so precious about their music and get it out there into either films, advertising, more TV, more spaces. I mean, they've been so protective of it over the last 20, 30 years. You don't really hear the Beatles in mainstream media anymore, unless it's on social media and stuff. They need to sort of stop being so precious about it and get it back out there again.
I find this amazing too. You talk about the Beatles. I mean, such a small window of their career was this band. What was it? Really commercially, what was it? 7 years, right? 63 to 1970, and they produced something like 200 and I mean, I don't know the exact number. Let's say 250 songs or whatever it was, maybe a little bit more. That's unbelievable. What they did in that short period of time. When they first arrived in New York at the Ed Sullivan Theater in February of 1964, after the nation was mourning Kennedy's death. I mean, just the timing and everything was perfect. And they went from being a huge band in 1964, taking over the world, taking over the US, and then really changing the landscape and the sound as well, going from the boy band, as we call them today, to the more serious musicians and experimenting, into the Rubber Soul, into the Revolver records after that. And of course, we know White Album, Sgt. Pepper, etc. So incredible sort of growth of these guys in that 7 years, which we've never seen from any other band in the history.
And the anthology is a celebration of that. And I enjoy watching it again and listen. I haven't heard it for a long time. I don't put it on very often, like you said, and I don't think a lot of people do. So it gives us an excuse to listen to it again and to sort of enjoy the whole story again, because that's the important thing. And every time in my videos and everything, we try to find something new happened in the story, whether it's from somebody connected with the band or the band themselves. There's so many stories we haven't heard yet, even though we think we know it all. We don't. There's so many little bits and pieces, and hopefully those will come out soon.
I mean, they spent the series alone. I mean, it was over 5,000 hours of planning and production, if not more. So they've got more clips, and that's the thing. I mean, there's one extra episode, so that's the one everyone's going to want to jump on. I'm assuming Disney's gonna just stream it all at once. So maybe people are gonna jump to the last episode who's seen the first ones. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I might be guilty as charged and do that myself. I'm not sure yet.
Might do that first, then watch the whole thing. But and there's a lot of new things that have been found since that was first made 30 years ago. A lot of new material and new clips and new music has been found. So I can understand why they didn't redo the whole thing, because that would be a massive task to sort of re-edit it and rejig the vinyl, rejig the running order and everything. Some people say, why didn't they put the new clips in the chronological order with the old albums? I mean, yes, ideally, but that would take so much time. And these things are always rushed. They always come out and they say, oh, it was a rush to the last minute. And the last minute they were doing something and something's wrong, and there's a printing mistake and stuff. All these things are to the wire. So the fact that they couldn't do that is understandable to me.
So Maz, they're starting 2 episodes and rolling one out every few days. So we can't watch the new one, but I'll be excited to watch that one.
Yeah,
I'll probably just
sort of
wait.
Savor it. I'm not sort of someone who goes in and binges the thing. So I like to savor it and watch one, sort of not do these things. So.
Well, it's going to be hard too when it comes out, because there'll be a lot of comments, a lot of YouTube videos. So I'll be tempted to click and want to watch the reviews, but I think I might just hold back until I've actually watched it first, so I have my own opinion.
It's going to be difficult to avoid the comments and the reviews. People will be up there, with their cameras on, and like 2 minutes after they've watched it, they'll get on the video and I've just watched it.
No, that never happens on YouTube. Come
on. Be 3 weeks until I get my video, at least, I'm telling you. So don't expect me to be like this one. I was on holiday when it was announced.
Yeah, I remember. Well, so you're telling me, but it seems like you're always on holiday when some of these big announcements come out.
I've had 1 week. That's the only week like this year I've had a weekend without a video on. It's just the only weekend, and I was really. Shall I do it? Yeah, just take a week, and I was somewhere else. So that's the only. I never, miss a week. I've got, 53 videos a year, even more. So
it's like me. I try to do at least one Audiophile Roundtable a week as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not easy sometimes.
It's in your system. It's in your. No, it's not. It is hard, and you've got a proper job too.
I do.
I don't.
9 hours a day plus family, like you do. So it's tough.
I have a family, but I don't have a proper job. So I just.
I want to just see this here. Hi, Andrew. I left a long comment in your anthology preview video about 40 minutes ago. Sorry for the length, from Mark.
Oh, long comments are good. Thanks for the comment. I've looked at a few of them, and I sort of I'll respond to them when I've got a quiet time to sit down and do them. But I do
Well,
read every single one.
I know you and I really excited that you're on and we've become good friends now and love the work that you do on your channel. Keep it up as well. It's best Beatles reviews out there.
Thanks.
No one will disagree with that. It's amazing. You put in the work, you put in the time and the sweat, everything, as you know.
Yeah, a lot of time, and yeah, maybe too much time, but there you go.
Well, I like it's the voice, right? You got that the narrator's voice. You got it down perfectly. So, and that's not AI. That's not Mal software. That's actually
not.
Andrew.
Somebody left a comment the other day. I'm glad this isn't AI because there are a lot of AI. But I'm not perfect at reading a script, like as you probably know. I mean, I'm not a professional with that. I mean, reading it's an art to reading a and I don't have a style, but I do it the best I can. But it takes a long time. You should see how long it takes me to take 15 minutes.
Well, you were saying that, yeah. It's not just
an
one
hour
take,
and a half
everyone.
to do 15-minute script. It's like
so too blandy. It's like, at least I can justify my Disney subscription now. I'm not. He says, I'm not picking up the box.
It's cheaper than picking up the box.
Yeah. We might be tempted. Just if any guys are just tuning in now, the LPs were not remastered by Miles Scholl. They're not half-speed mastered. They were done by Alex Wharton, just so you guys know. So the LPs are not half-speed mastered. But yeah, sometimes I think, Andrew, you're too modest. You got amazing stuff. You honestly do. Good stuff out there.
Well, I do the best I can. I do the best I can. So that's what I aim to do. I know these videos might be around for longer than I am, so I try to make them sort of like as good as I can, however long it takes.
I'm so upset. I thought, last time you were on, I thought Apple was going to call you. Apple Corp was going to call you and get you on the board or part of the executive team to start moving this the right direction. What can you do?
They don't call me. Nobody sends me. You get more stuff than I do. So nobody sends me anything.
I'm surprised Abbey Road doesn't send you more stuff.
Well, it's Universal, isn't it? So,
or Universal, if you're watching right now, come on, man, this is ridiculous. Let's go.
Well, what am I getting? I get the box set, but I'm going to buy it anyway. So if they send me one, I'll give it away. So, but see, I don't think they send anybody stuff. Really,
Apple needs Andrew. I'm promoting you right now. Apple, Universal.
I'm sure they watch this. I'm sure they watch this video, and I'm sure they read the comments. So, whether something happens as a result of the videos or the comments, we won't be credited.
It's pretty interesting though too. It's pretty locked down at Apple. I mean, talking to Miles Scholl, he's been on the show a bunch of times. You've had him on your program. I've had Sean McGee on, who cut the mono box years back, and of course would be credited on the 2025 box that's out. They're pretty locked down there. They really are. They don't really have much information. They're not told anything until pretty much it happens. There's no real, hey guys, don't tell anyone, but this is what's happening. I think they're just, here's the tape, or here's the project, here's what's going on, go do it. Like that's what's going on there. It's
a small group, and they don't trust a very small group of people. They don't let everybody know. You've got to be really in that little group, and they've got to trust you. It's all about trust and things. And if you sort of start shouting your mouth off about things, that's whatever. I mean, they don't tell me anything. They don't send me anything, do anything. And I say what I want. Maybe if I work for them, I wouldn't be able to say what I want, which is the other side of the coin. I maybe wouldn't be able to talk about if I knew about Anthology. I probably wouldn't be able to talk.
You wouldn't be able to. You'd have like you'd have to sign like a disclosure.
I'm not allowed to mention that Anthology is coming out, and I would be sort of like, so maybe I wouldn't want that. Well,
that's why.
I mean, I'd be happy to advise them in a consultancy, like some other collectors and YouTubers do. But
I think the thing is, one thing I would advise the new what's his name, the new CEO of Tom Green, not the actor, by the way, just so you know, not the Canadian comedian Tom Green, if you know who that is.
Everybody knows. Yeah.
Okay, it's not him.
It's not it.
Tom Green, if you're listening, please tune in. Stereo AAA recut of the Beatles.
Yeah. See,
why wouldn't that happen?
We want that, but to general public, who cares about AAA stereo?
That's the thing, right? We have this new technology, and going back, we sort of prefaced the show by saying that it's a new generation. It's an AirPod generation, and a lot of these remasters or remixed songs out there are for the AirPods. Truly,
if it's not going to sell, they won't make it. if they can't make money of it, they're not going to make it. And until sort of like something comes back, say this is going to be a huge money making thing if we do a stereo AA of the box set.
Yep.
They're not going to do it. Not going to do it just because we want it or some audiophiles want it. And they won't let anybody else do it.
Well, it took them 11 years to get the mono box set recut. So maybe 11 years from now, we'll get some movement on a stereo AAA.
Well, I think that was handled very badly the way they reissued that, and that's maybe a lesson they've learned. I don't know.
Well, with Tom Green coming in, hopefully.
Maybe maybe he'll sweep the board and sort of say, right, we'll start again. But he's got it. He's not the man in charge. The four estates are the people in charge.
So he's a spokesman.
He can only sort of guide. He's
a spokesman for the four estates.
We think we should do this. This might be a good idea, but he's not somebody who can say, what's going to happen. He's the sort of like, steering the ship, if you like. He's not in charge of whether it goes forward or backwards or whatever.
I like this comment Mark was asking here. He says the original anthology CDs had liner notes from Mark Lewinson. The press release for the new one have not mentioned that. Only Kevin Howlett. Any idea if the original notes are there? I
think the original notes are still there. I mean, it's such a shame that Mark isn't involved anymore with the Beatles thing. That's one. Kevin Howlett is a great guy, and he knows a lot, and he writes a lot of good stuff. But I really wish Mark was back on side with Apple, and I think the way he's been treated was pretty unfair. So that's my one regret about this. I think he should be still working for them. Whether he wants to or not, it's a different matter. But
yeah, I think the one thing, I mean, going back to this whole, my show, we talk a lot about vinyl. Wonder where vinyl will be with the Beatles in 10 years. I mean, even if we have the diehard audiophiles that want vinyl, Tom Green comes in, is looking at the numbers. Where am I going to make the most profit? It's not going to be off the vinyl. It's going to be off the streaming. It's going to be off the Disney Plus stuff that they do. Mm-hmm. I think going forward, that's probably what the expectation is.
Yeah, the vinyl market will keep going for a while, but it's never going to be a huge thing again like it was. It's still a very niche product. So maybe that'll happen.
And people are saying, I think these BC13 boxes, hang on to those ones. That's probably the best stereo AAAs you're going to get.
Yeah, I think so. There's plenty out there,
and they're a good deal too, right? Are they running still for $600 up around there?
You can find them in Germany. Well, I can find them in Germany for $200 to $300,
and like in mint condition.
Yeah, because most of them are, because they were like either gifts or sort of like things to put in your library. Most of the ones I find are hardly ever played. So if you, apart from the boxes being knocked around a bit, that's the vinyl is usually good.
So going back to, the anthology on Disney Plus, it's going to be released, I guess, episode by episode. I wonder how many people will be watching that. I'll be curious to know what the audience will be like. And
I think a lot of people will watch it. Yeah,
I think they will be. I haven't decided if I'm going to watch it the day the morning it's released for streaming yet. Depending, I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do.
So, as I said before, somebody will be getting up at 1 minute past midnight, and midnight we'll have a video on YouTube about it.
At 12:15, 12 o'clock it gets streamed, and at 12:15, hey guys, I'll watch.
I'm watching it now. I'm doing a video while I'm watching it now, and this bit looks good. Whatever.
Don't give people ideas. Yeah. But I think, I don't know, there's a lot of negativity surrounding this anthology, and I'm not sure why. I think it's kind of cool that they're remastering it, remixing it for the new generation. Again, I can't emphasize enough, if you want the Beatles to be around for 50 more years in terms of in the general market here, they have to do little newer things, and it's not just going to be for you or I that's been Beatles fans for 30, 40 years, or 50 or 60 years if you're still alive.
I was going to title my video this week, the Beatles Anthology, It's Not For You, It's For Everyone.
I like that.
And that's basically what it is. People take it very personally. This is not what I want. They're insulting me, and it's all about me. I hate this, and then I'm not, until Carnival of Light comes out, I'm not buying it, and it's not all about them. It's the bigger picture, which people don't really see. You've got anthology, so if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. You know, it's the it's Apple's way of surviving, making the Beatles new again to other people. You know, they've got you already who bought Anthology once. You know, you're not the target market for this. It's people who haven't seen Anthology, who weren't around 30 years ago, and that's quite a lot of people now. We tend to think of it being, you know, a couple of months ago, but 1995 was 30 years ago.
That's
And there's
crazy.
a lot of people who haven't seen Anthology, and it's for them, you know. And it's tough. It doesn't satisfy the sort of older fans. There might be something else for them later on. You know, the Star Club things might come out. There might be a Magical Mystery. There might be something else for them. But at the moment, this is for the good of the brand, or whatever, the good of the name.
And I think we all should have more patience. I mean, eventually we're going to see we'll eventually see Rubber Soul, obviously, at some point. I would say next. I'm going to say next year. I'm going to just throw it out there and say I think probably next year. It makes a lot of sense.
And what is on? There's a lot that we've heard already, and as you get through Rubber Soul, there's probably not that much extra there is. I mean,
let me ask you this: do you think that they've already remixed everything? Just a matter of packaging it together.
It's all done. It's all ready. I'm sure. But Rubber Soul, like, we're getting take one of In My Life on this. There's only 3 takes of it In My Life. Take 1, which we're getting. Take 3 was the master they overdubbed the vocals onto, and take 2, I think, might have been a breakdown or something. So by the time they get to Help, they were just perfecting the backing track. And every time they were doing it, they're rewinding the tape and doing it again. And then they just put the overdubs on top. So there's going to be less outtakes from Help going forwards. So there might not actually be, you know, any great things from Rubber Soul. And I can see it now. People are like disappointed. There's only 2 takes of this, 1 take of that. So, you know, although I'd like to see it.
Well, we all know that when they do re-release Help remixed with the Mall software, they're obviously going to release the movie at the same time, all remastered with, you know, Mall software as well, and all redone through Peter Jackson. I mean, clearly, that's probably.
I think the last movie, upgrade, that one is pretty good.
I know, I have it too.
Get any better?
So do they do it anyways? I don't know. Just to have it consistent with the rest of them that are streaming on Disney.
Just put it on Disney in 4K. That's probably what they do. Maybe with an option to listen to the original mono soundtrack, which would be nice.
Yeah.
But that's what they'll do. I think. I don't think it will come out again. Whether we get a Help box set is, well, they've missed the 60th anniversary of that, so I don't know what anniversary they're going to tie that one to.
I think a lot of folks want Rubber Soul instead of Anthology. I think that's where the disappointment is with a lot of the comments on your channel, and I'm reading right now, is where's Rubber Soul?
Yeah, the fact that it's been delayed,
weird.
I think, which doesn't help either, because they were promised it maybe 2024, and then it got put back because the Red and the Blue came out, and now it's got shifted back again. I think that the delay is what the frustration is mostly what that's about.
But the Beatles are interesting, though. Apple's interesting. We don't know what's going on. They're pretty tight-lipped. So Rubber Soul was their 6th studio album, came out in the UK. What was it? Beginning of December 1965. So Apple could surprise us right after they drop Anthology. We could get a Christmas 60th anniversary of Rubber Soul still. Who knows? You never know.
I wouldn't put money on it, though.
I wouldn't put money on it, but I'm just saying, like, you look at it, this industry is about one thing, and we both know it's about money. That would be interesting. That would be a big gift for Beatles fans during Christmas time.
Well, they certainly have the ability to surprise fans, because, you know, things come out suddenly, bang, and whatever. So that it right, couldn't happen. Unlikely, but it would
be nice, because it is the anniversary this year, December 3rd, 65. Why not?
So we'd have to have an announcement for that. I don't know when.
Well, they never did for the mono Beatles box, so who knows? Just throw it out there. See if it sticks.
I don't know. Yeah, I hope you're right, Steve. I hope you're right.
I'm throwing out there for Mr. Tom Green.
Yeah, maybe he'll come on your show one day and we can talk about
That'd be amazing. Well, all 3 of us. That'd be unbelievable.
Which in the comments would be.
Yeah. Well, he's got an open invitation. Let's get him up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look forward to that. If he's brave enough. I don't think he'd be brave enough.
So no, that would be cool, because that would be 60th year. Rubber Soul. Why not?
It would, yeah. And then next year was 66. We've had Revolver, so
yep.
You know, I don't know where they're going with that. They're obviously, gonna have to start again with their strategy and things. So we're not going to hear about that for a while. But yeah, look forward to that.
Well, 4D man, a Christmas release of Rubber Soul would be about 2.5 years late, but I don't know.
Late? Well, since we were promised it, but
Was it actually announced at some point that they were coming out with it? Was there an actual hard announcement going, "Hey guys, we're remixing and with Peter Jackson, it's going to be out X date"? Did they really say that? Was it just internet rumor?
It was just rumor, and
Okay.
the fact that the thing maybe Giles dropped a hint he's done it or something, or it's ready to go, and so everyone was like, "Oh, it's coming." But they've probably done everything, and
I think they've done everything. I really do. It's all on file. It's all digitalized on file.
I think the remix, but the actual sets haven't been put together.
No, exactly.
All the audio is ready. Yeah.
100, yeah, for sure they are. Now it's just wait and come up with a marketing plan and strategy for us suckers. We're going to buy everything. Buy all the physical media. Go on Disney Plus. Make a YouTube video about it. Keep it going.
Exclusive, yeah, exactly.
What's this about the Butcher cover? I mean, is that a possibility to have it reissued? I know people are. I just see a comment here. Butcher cover reissued.
People want it reissued because it follows on from the mono set last year. To get the mono set with Rubber Soul, that's another problem that they have with Rubber Soul. It's two different albums in America and Britain.
That's right.
So would they put that together? Would they put the American version in with the British version? That would be good. And then there's the Yesterday and Today. But controversy about the cover now might even be a problem now, like it was 60 years ago. I don't know. Universal are pretty sensitive about.
It is still to this day.
People.
I mean, do you want to have? I mean, I know it's just baby dolls, but it's still controversial. 60 years out in a way.
Well, I mean, they're it's, although times have moved on, the people are offended about everything these days, so it's could be sensitive, but they just paste over it. They can do your peel, you do it yourself.
Here's where this started. Giles Martin said Rubber Soul was done on an interview when Revolver was released and confirmed there was enough outtakes, etc.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it's all ready to go, but it's just things keep getting in the way, I suppose, like Now and Then and this and that. An anthology had to be celebrated, had to be redone. So I mean, it just moves so slowly. That's why I suggested in my video that they do one big thing a year, like this in November, but do a few little side quests throughout the year. Like this Horseshoe Magical Mystery Tour we were talking about last time, that and then something else. Like two things for collectors and one thing for everybody else once a year.
Well,
my plan.
We know our friend Miles Scholl wants to do the Magical Mystery Tour AAA. I mean, he was on my show mentioning that, and they have the tapes in the vault. So,
yeah, and when I went to Abbey Road last year, I took sort of a pile of these Hertzu Magical Mystery Tours and gave them to like everyone in the building who was around, the original copies. Say, listen,
that's interesting.
Copies of the album.
It's a little passive aggressive, right? That's smart.
No, I thought it was cool.
Here we go. I want you to do this.
Give this guy to Apple and pass it on, which he said he did. Yeah. But we'll see. But little side quests like that for us, meaning us sort of older fans, and one big release a year for everybody else. And that's the way they could balance things out, because they can't please everybody with the anthology, but they could sort of, like, the way they do it now is put out a new set of merchandise, some Shea Stadium t-shirts or polo shirts, which isn't really satisfying anybody, really. I don't know who buys the merch. I don't know, but something physical.
But that's the thing. This generation, not into the physical music media like we are. So it is more about streaming.
But they've got to recognize the legacy. They've got to recognize the fans that have been with them, and they've got to acknowledge that. They're in a unique position, whereas they have to balance both the old and the new. A lot of other groups don't. If it's a legacy artist, maybe they're just dealing with the older fans, so they can do, box sets and stuff just for fans. But the Beatles can't do that. They have to sort of keep this image up, and at the same time satisfy fans which have been with them for many years, which is a really difficult thing. And I do sympathize with that. So it must be a very delicate balancing act. And at the moment, it seems to be a little bit sort of unbalanced.
Going back to the anthology, the new remixes, Why do they sound? Where are we hearing them sound better than the originals that we have maybe on CD? Like what are you hearing now? Is it the vocals? I mean, obviously we know with the software they're able to really separate the instruments more than ever, especially on something like Now and Then or Real Love or those ones where the really sounded like it was in a can. Really did at that point.
I listened to the I think last week Apple Music still had the original Anthology
Yeah.
1, and I listened on Spotify to Anthology 1 remastered, and everything was like a louder, fuller, wider, just generally better
More
for
space.
on headphones. I was
Yeah.
listening on headphones like yours, and you know, they sounded much better, you know, so you wouldn't know unless you were comparing them maybe, but that's what I do.
So that's what to expect as well. So I mean, I think just more space, more
Yeah, if you've got
separation.
both, you can compare, you know.
Yeah.
But the person who didn't have both, it would sound good anyway. So
And a lot of people don't care. They're just like, oh, this is new. Oh, okay, I'll listen to this. They're not going to sit there for hours and comparing and then,
no, of course they're not.
no, not like us, not the diehards. Someone said that the Beatles Shea Stadium video was remastered and leaked a couple years ago on YouTube. So I saw a comment there.
I don't know about that, but it's definitely been redone. I also read that that's not from the original negatives. The original negatives are still somewhere else,
Okay.
and that was done with the best they have. And I think it's still held up by something to do with Ed Sullivan Productions. I think is the sticking point there, where it's not coming up, not coming out, and they've missed that anniversary again now, which I think was significant. So it must be something even their lawyers, Apple's lawyers, who are pretty good, and with all the money they have, they can't sort this out. So if they can't sort it out for the anniversary, the 60th anniversary, I'm really worried that it's never going to come. I don't know what's going to have to change there to get that out.
Let's talk about this too. On Free as a Bird, George's lyric is changed on the new remix. Why? How come?
Yeah,
What's
good
up with that?
question. Good question. I really don't know. Maybe they didn't want the same line sung twice.
Yeah, but why would you just keep it authentic to when it first came out? Why is it changed? I'm not trying to stir up controversy. It's
No,
just interesting,
I'm
right?
sure it's just an artistic thing. I thought, well, it'd be fun to change it. We're changing this. We can change things. Just do it for the sake of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make it any worse, I don't think.
They had that on what album? They changed it into was the Beatles One box or whatever, right? That's when they changed that lyric, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't like things changing in bits and pieces, and but you know, the Beatles were doing that in the studio anyway, all the time. They were, you know, there's differences between the mono and the stereo versions. You know, Paul's voice cracks in If I Fell in mono in stereo, but it doesn't in mono. People are not saying, "Oh, I'm never buying the stereo again. I want the truth. I'm not buying the mono again. I'm buying it's the truth. It's they messed around with this AI. They were doing this back in 1964, you know, and people are complaining about it now. It's auto tuned. It's pitched. They were doing similar things. They would have done that back then if they had the chance. They just did it with tape in a different way. So I'm not sort of, you know, I'm not one of those ones who's crying foul about that, really, you know.
Well, it's one thing about the Beatles and their production team, George Martin, Jeff Emmerich, those guys. If they had the technology that Charles Martin has today or Peter Jackson, we know just based on what they were experimenting with back then with backward tapes and all the crazy stuff that no one else was doing, they would have for sure used this technology to make it whatever they wanted to sound like. They would have sure been into this. Absolutely.
I mean,
I
they
know
did
that.
go back in the end and to get back to wanting to do things authentically. But, you know, they were using studio technology way before, you know, so, you know, they even use it now today, which I think is okay, you know.
But it's not AI. It's actually their voices and their music. It's not made up from a computer, just so everyone knows how the mall software works.
Yeah, it's just a tool, a very clever tool.
Yeah, it's a what I think what they did is I guess what Peter Jackson did, he put these songs into the computer and let the computer understand the Beatles, every instrument, all the vocals,
It
to
works,
get
yeah.
get the
Just
computer
put it
to a
in.
point where, like, hey, I can
It's like
separate this.
this web-based software that I use, La La La. It's you just put the song in and you can choose what you want to take out and click and it does it all and it comes back in a minute later and you've got everything separated. And it doesn't take any, I mean, it doesn't take me any skill to do that. The software is so clever, it can do it for anybody.
Have you had issues with any copyright stuff by having like a few seconds of the Beatles songs on
Mm.
your videos?
Um, no, well, yes, but in the edits that I do before the video comes out, I do. I mean, you have to do so many test edits to, you might do one edit of a video and it might have 6 seconds of a song in, and it'll get flagged up as a content match, and then
Yeah.
you do another edit the video with 5 seconds and it gets through. So you have to sort of judge how much you can get away with. I mean, they could, it's been a problem Rick Beato's been talking about with Universal and flagging
Exactly.
everything. They could sort of manually go through my videos and write, okay, that one, copyright, and they don't. So, I'm grateful for that. But you just have to try and get around it, because you need a bit of music in a video to talk about it. A lot of the early videos I made, people say, how can you talk about the song when you can't play it? Well, I'd love to play it, but you can't.
And that's the biggest frustration for us YouTubers. I mean, especially myself on the audiophile side, we'd love to hear some of these, put these songs up, but you just can't. You'll get flagged, you'll get lawyers, cease and desist letters like Rick Beato is getting or still gets, right? So, I mean, we don't want that. We're just doing this I'm doing this as a fun hobby. I don't need the extra.
But then you would get people uploading a whole album and trying to monetize it. You get people abusing the system, and
Yeah.
that's why they can't do it. I mean, they might, Universal have said to me in the past, yeah, you can use 30 seconds of this, but you try and use 30 seconds of it and
YouTube won't let it.
Gets flagged up. They have to manually whatever, take it away, the copyright strike away. But the YouTube's automated content match system will catch everything. And if that doesn't catch everything, if you're a high profile YouTuber like Rick Beato, they will have someone go through and just click, give you copyright, not strikes, content matches.
I think he's had like 40 or 50 cease and desist letters in the last, I don't know how many years he's been doing this for, but
yeah,
that's not fun.
I mean, it's this area about free use. What is free use, and how far does that go? Fair use, not free use. Fair use.
Well, we know the Beatles catalog's pretty locked down, so there's not going to be a lot of fair use or free use with the Beatles stuff. It's all about making money and generational wealth of not just Paul McCartney's kids, but the grandkids and the great grandkids as well, right?
When that's the argument. We're doing them a favor by promoting their music, and surely they can allow us to play a bit if we're promoting it. But how can we promote it or say how great it is without playing it? We're relying on people knowing what it is and how it sounds, rather than somebody watching a video about the Beatles for the first time. You're talking about Revolver and you're not playing any of it. So I know. It's another big topic, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we are talking Anthology. That was the big news. Coming out November 21st of this year. I guess we're not going to get Rubber Soul. I know we talked about that already. Doesn't look that way. Maybe the following year. So it'll be a 61-year anniversary box set of Rubber Soul.
Maybe they'll find something else to tie it into. I don't know what happened in 1966, 67. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll find something else to pair it.
Well, what was yesterday and today though? That was 65 as well. Was it 66? Okay, well there you go. Maybe they do a big Butcher cover.
That would be popular. I mean, and we know. I mean, American audience would love that. I mean, that's one big thing they haven't done. It hits a lot of bases. It hits the collector's base.
Yeah.
It hits sort of interest base, because it's an interesting story how they came up with it and what they did with it. So it touches a lot of good things as far as content goes. Anyway, so the anniversary is gone for this year for 66. But maybe they could find a way to spin it and bring it in next year. Maybe as one little collector's side quest thing. Do that, and maybe the Magical Mystery Tour. Fans would love that. And then do at the end of the year, 67, maybe do something for Magical Mystery Tour. 26. Where are we? 2025.
Yeah, so 67 is Magical Mystery Tour. So I mean, maybe they catch up in 2027.
Yeah. So they could do yesterday and today. Well, let's pitch this.
Okay, go.
Do yesterday and today for June 66 for next year anniversary. Maybe for Record Store Day or something. I don't know. And yeah, do that as a collector's sort of special.
So Tom Green, if you're watching, not the comedian, but the new
yesterday
CEO of Apple.
For 66, get in touch. I've got all the details, got the pictures, know the story. We'll do that for you, and it will be a big success. Do a peel off cover as well. They could have with it as well. I'm sure the technology exists.
Easy.
Sticker technology, you could just peel it off, have it like that, and it would be a great news story, and it would be a big thing.
I think if they're going to do that, it would have to be peel off. I don't think it'd be as appealing to, no pun intended, appealing to have the actual butcher cover. So they'd have the
Sell it
one
as
that's
a second
behind
state.
me there.
Yeah,
and
sell
then
it
just
as a second state, and you can peel it off yourself.
Yeah,
without having a kettle or whatever you use, a spittle or whatever.
that would be really cool.
Peel it off, and that would be a great story. You know, the not lost album, but the sort of most controversial and rarest and most sought after, the holy grail of nearly everybody's Beatles collection.
Well, I got mine hanging up behind me. I don't want to peel it off. It's just going to sit there in that state.
I don't have them.
I'm surprised.
No, I had a few, but they're all gone.
I thought about getting professionally peeled. I think he wanted a couple $100 for it at the time. I'm like, you know what? It's probably worth more not having it peeled. And just sort of seeing Ringo's V-neck sweater there on the right.
There it is. Yeah, I think the values of the second states are going up because people have peeled them and there's second states left. So I think it's more exciting to know what's underneath it than what's actually seeing the thing.
I will address Mark Dooley, who came in late. Welcome, Volume 4. I think that's where the unhappiness is. It's not going to be as a loan purchase. We don't know that. Maybe eventually the Anthology 4 will be at some point.
Well, so many people have been shouting about it for the last week or so. You know, something might get through. You never know. If it earns them more money, they might think about it. You know, if they think they're going to sell more, they might. Oh, we're going to make more money. They might actually do it.
I was interested. I was looking at some of the numbers of the sales figures for the anthology, and it came out in '95. So number one, I mean, it sold anywhere from 12 to 15 million copies between mostly CD, of course, for mid '90s. And then when number 2 came out a year later in 1996, I think it got to 3 or 4 million. And then when the last one came out, Anthology 3, it sold maybe 2 million.
Yeah. I think it's a different era. I think the first generation fans who were buying the anthology last time like the early stuff. Now I think it's flipped on its head.
So there's 30 million copies of this out there in the wild right now. So we'll see how many more are sold. But yeah,
there'll be even more when people replace their originals with the new ones.
I'd like to just put Anthology 4 behind this and keep my originals and just have Anthology 4 as well.
No, I don't think they're going to have these boxes though. That's the problem.
It'll just be the
going to be a folder with
digipack stuff or whatever. Yeah,
they won't make these Fat Boy things anymore. No.
Well, no, you don't. Yeah,
no, unfortunately, maybe a special collector's edition. Maybe you can buy these and do them yourself. I suppose.
And that's the thing too. There's so many options for you these days. I mean, even if you're a Beatles fan, to get other records, right? So you really got to look at your budget, how much you want to spend, and what's the retail in this? Have we got a retail estimate in this price?
I think the album's $375. I think dollar-wise.
USD.
Yeah, I think about that. Of course, it varies from here to there. That's a lot of money, you know, especially if you just want Anthology 4. Anthology 4 on its own might be, I don't know, $50, $60 if it comes out like that.
So if I'm from Canada, that's a $500 hit if I want this box, Canadian. Probably when the smoke clears at my door with exchange and duty, whatever they charge.
Yeah,
tariffs.
I don't know how many they're going to sell. I don't know.
Well, like I said, we sold 25 million physical copies of the anthology the first go around in 30 years ago, but that was before streaming. So clearly it's going to be a lot less. And if you want the LPs, I mentioned during the show that Miles Scholl did not master the LPs, and they are not half-speed mastered. They are mastered by Alex Wharton.
Absolutely. And I think they're going to be pressed at optimal as well.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. I don't know where that would make sense.
Yeah, so vinyl people might be happy. They're not perfect, but best of the bunch, I think.
Probably better than saying, "Hey, it's going to go to GZ." That would not make a lot of people happy.
I think GZ are getting better, but I prefer optimal.
And David Fell, it's 12 LPs, right? 3 times 4, that's 12 LPs. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of vinyl.
As much as the mono box. Yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy old thing. Whew.
So what's Gabriel saying? The problem with the rubber sole box is run for your life. What does that mean?
Problem for who?
What's the problem?
No idea. Maybe he's referring to the lyrical content, which isn't
Well,
the
lyrical
problem.
content exactly is, in today's standards, if you really want to break it down, yeah, it's
I don't think that's maybe a problem for some people, but I don't think it's a problem for holding the box set up.
no, it might be. I don't think the controversy is
Unlike some other box sets we could have mentioned.
Each volume has 3 LPs. Yeah, there you go. And again, Alex Wharton mastered them from a digital file, of course, and they are not half speed. So I know some people don't want it half speed. Well, it's not half speed. Run for Your Life, the first line.
Yeah,
it's a 60-year-old music. I mean, in terms of
that's an Elvis song as well. I'd rather see it. Yeah, he got that from Elvis. Baby, Let's Play House. It's especially the same song.
He ripped that off. He said he ripped that song right from Elvis. That's an Elvis song.
Yeah.
And it was a throwaway song, right? They needed one more song for that album. That's the one that they came up with. Run for Your Life. It was definitely a throwaway song. He hated it.
Yeah, he knew it. He hated it, and it's not a favorite of many people today. But that's a discussion for another day.
Well, someone was saying, Mark was saying, maybe it's a copyright issue with the first line of "Run for Your Life" being pinched from "Baby, Let's Play House." Hard to believe, though. It's not a copyright thing at all. There's no way, because it's out on Spotify and all the streaming, so there's no issues with that. Maybe it's a politically incorrect song in today's standards. I would agree with that, but in context of 60 years ago, I mean, they were calling, there were songs about, "Hey, I'm your daddy." I mean, that could be, that wasn't
all the blues songs and all that sort of stuff.
I mean, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't think we can address that with any seriousness.
No, not at all. I don't think it's a big deal. Julian Lennon, what poor Julian, right? What I want is Julian Lennon Anthology. Poor guy's work is way overlooked.
He's around on social media. I see him often doing new stuff, bits and pieces. He's not involved in the Lennon estate things. I don't think he wants to be honest. I think
he's not part of it. He doesn't have any rights to it, does he?
I don't think he wants to. I think he's sort of happy being his own man, which is good.
Well, we can leave it at that. We've talked a lot about anthology today. It's over an hour. That's crazy. I just looked at him like, what happened to the time?
Flies by.
Well, thank you. You have yourself a great rest of your weekend. Is it a long weekend where you are too? Do you guys celebrate Labor Day there? No, I didn't think so.
No, we have a lot of Catholic holidays around, but in Austria, but no holidays for you. Do you have Monday as well?
We have Monday off in North America. It's the great Labor Day weekend. So back to school on Tuesday for the kids. So 2 months of heaven.
When I went forward to back to school.
Yeah, it should be nice. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Everyone that's watching, thank you. It was great to see you again, Andrew. And then maybe we'll do another one when Rubber Soul comes on in December. Just kidding. We know it probably won't.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's been great, Steve. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. I love it.
Thank you so much, guys. See you again.